All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's a best of 7 lower bracket match here between ZOUN in the bottom right side of the map up against REYNOR in the top left. REYNOR going for that 15 Overlord, are we? Perhaps? No, he's going to go 15 Hatchery because he does not want to get his expansion blocked. So notice no Overlord here. He could do a 15-15. I guess if you're going to go for the 15 Hatchery anyway, you might as well, right? Extract a trick now. Get the 50 minerals just left over there. Beautiful. And then we go Overlord next, of course. So I guess this just ends up being a 15-15. Fair call. Not a bad way to ensure you get that hatchery down. And in fact, ZOUN here just going for a very conservative gateway scout. Now, both players have had some action-packed matches, some close ones, and some more one-sided ones throughout the tournament so far. But it's going to be a very interesting match because ZOUN's, back from the military, looking very good recently. The question is, can he compete with a guy like REYNOR? Well, he didn't have to go to the military, but he did go to something that's, I would say, as arduous as the military. And that's called the League of Legends solo queue. And that's where REYNOR's been grinding a lot over the last few years, right? The fans won't give him a break about it. They're like, if REYNOR stopped playing League of Legends and started just practicing StarCraft properly, he'd be unbeatable. But no, he has to play League of Legends all day. While ZOUN was obviously doing push-ups in the military and that sort of thing, so we'll see. Chat says no, the League of Legends solo queue is much worse than being in the military. Yeah. I mean, at least with one, you're doing something noble, right? Well, I mean, not potentially. Like, could be. I mean, it depends on the situation, of course, but at least you're meant to be kind of giving service to your society, right? In a way, obviously could be turned to ill ends depending on the forces at play. But yeah, anyways, solo queue, a fun place. We'll see. REYNOR is obviously back on the grind pretty well. He has been playing quite a bit of StarCraft, but I would say with EWC not being announced, I feel like Cyril and Clem might be the only two players in the world who are still practicing super hardcore and properly because they just have that dedication to the art. And I do wonder if it's affecting REYNOR like it is many other players not having an announcement of the upcoming circuit. Because I know a lot of players have just kind of taken their foot off the pedal in terms of their StarCraft player development. Now, ZOUN's going to go double adept pressure. We rarely see this anymore, guys. What was REYNOR's top LoL rank? Maybe someone in chat knows. I have no idea. I don't know how League of Legends works. The only thing I know about League of Legends is the names of a few characters, and that's because they're the ones that are in Arcane. I don't even know which characters in Arcane are actual League of Legends characters. I played the game twice ever, once for a sponsored stream for Sour Patch Kids. Literal, sour candy, where we got to play, and a League of Legends pro here in Australia tried to teach me how to play. We played like a 2v2 against another pro and another content creator. I basically just made fun of him the entire time. So like we're getting in there and I'm like trying to deny and I'm like, why can't I deny my creeps? He's like, oh, this isn't Dota. We don't have denying. And I was like, what? What do you do in the early game? There's like nothing to do if you're not denying. Like what? You can't kill your own creeps to deny experience? And he's like, oh yeah, that's just a Dota thing. And I was like, oh my God, how easy is your game, dude? I basically, we had a lot of fun banter. I gave him a lot of crap. I was like, why do you play the easy MOBA? Why don't you play the good one? And he's just like, oh, well, this one's more popular actually, and it's good. And I was just like, is it though? Note to self, if you have to teach me a game, I will be a condescending D-bag while having the rare benefit of learning it from bro. I can't even remember what character I played, but I remember I used the little teleport thing at the wrong time always, and I never got over the old Dota habit of trying to deny creeps. It hurt my brain. Did he enjoy this? I'm sure he didn't. He's like, God, you're so bad, but you're so cocky at the same time. It's that fun comedy. Like, he knew I was joking, but I think he could also tell that, like, there's a little bit of it. There is that StarCraft elitism where we'll always be a bit like, your game's kind of simple and dumb to LoL players, And they'll be like, geez, StarCraft players are such D-bags. Okay, nice Lynx round comes in. The Zealots and the Adepts do come back. The Lynx are going to pull away. The Oracle did get pulled back temporarily, but that's a good defense. 6 Lings, an Overlord for nothing. I mean, ZOUN's just playing rock solid. Third gas goes down. Oh, he's playing Gateway Man, is he? Well, wait, why has he got a Robo so early? Wait. No Forge, but playing Charge and an early Robo. Where's the probe production? That's a fake gas. If a Zergling runs up, he's got a fake gas there. It's a charge lot attack. It's a huge charge lot attack. I expect 2 more gateways to go down momentarily, guys. He's going to 6 gateways, 7 gateways. I would not be surprised to see an 8th one. It's a Void Ray to deny scouting, an Oracle to make things look normal, a fake 3rd with a shield battery to try and convince REYNOR it's a normal game. REYNOR needs to hold that Roach key down now. Do not build any more drones, REYNOR. REYNOR, don't build more drones. Probes getting transferred. That's a fake transfer, guys. He does not actually need those probes in that base. He's pulling off minerals completely. 6 gateways coming. It's going to be 8 gate zealot. Now, to be fair, pulling off gas completely, I think, is a little unnecessary here. But we'll see how he goes. He's building probes 3 at a time to really convince REYNOR of what's up. REYNOR's like, oh, I better build 5 safety roaches just in case there's something aggressive. Little does he realize it's only 46 probes. That warp prism doesn't feel especially well timed, but we'll see if it can catch REYNOR out. REYNOR's famous for defending these attacks while being insanely greedy, and he is actually building a few roaches ahead of time. But REYNOR does not see the zealots coming. This is his vision. He has no idea. He's built 4 more drones. He just queued up 3 more drones on top of one that was about to pop. Oh, God. REYNOR has no idea what's going on. He sees, oh, you don't have gases. Maybe I should make some more roaches. But he also sees a zealot, and I think now he realizes what's up. He's going to try and pull into that mineral line. The queens are out front, though, and those queens are going to get wrecked. You lose your queens. That means the Void Ray now has free reign over this 3rd base. As long as it avoids the spore, it's going to be a massive damage dealer. I think you go straight for the natural. Yeah, the Void Ray should just hang out, kill roaches, kill overlords as they fly past. And the Roach Warren in the wall, one of the biggest things you got to snipe, right? We're all thinking about that creator Cyril game. You got to kill the Roach Warren when you catch a Zerg unprepared. Amazing Evo Chamber wall-offs for REYNOR to buy time. Tries to build another Evo Chamber over there. He's going to try to run up his ramp. Oh, God, maybe he should have held position on his ramp. I'm not quite sure. Zealots charging in like mad. He's bringing more roaches back as REYNOR, but that is so many Zealots. Not to mention the Void Ray is going to start killing overlords as well. Zealots warping in like crazy. Now, ZOUN has not transferred back into a solid follow-up, but it's okay because he's back on gas mining, so he's preparing for that in case, and he's massacring the workers on the front line. REYNOR might have to do a hold position with those drones. He tries to hold position them to block those zealots up. The zealots are getting blocked a little bit. ZOUN does need to micro these zealots on the left side. Use a bit of hold position or a bit of shift click to target those drones down. The Prism here still looking very healthy. Spore Crawler is going to move up. The Void Ray's on top of it. Void Ray shutting down these roaches, as are the zealots. More zealots warping in. REYNOR caught with his pants down. ZOUN fakes a macro build and gets in with a nasty all-in 3-base, mineral-only timing. If we go back a little bit, you can see he had, I believe, put back on gas. No, he only put on this gas to fake that he was transitioning. He just had mineral lines going and nothing else, guys. You can see he even had this base mostly full of minerals, but fully pulling off gas, hiding all the gateways in the back of the base. A fantastic hiding of that build. GG, well played for game 1. All right, guys. Down in the bottom left side of the map, up 1-0, and that's a good way to get your opponent's attention. A REYNOR that has no fear is a scary thing to play against, right? It's a bit of a weird phrase. A REYNOR with no fear is scary to play against, but I stick by it. If he feels confident to be greedy, to go for an all-in one game, do greed the next game, he's just hard to fight. Because there'll be times where you want to like fake aggression, but not actually commit to it, and just go for a bit of a delayed macro build. And you look at the replay and you realize he didn't even realize you were doing faking the aggression. And he just had 90 drones at 6.5 minutes. And you're like, oh, that's actually disgusting. Like, oh, so once you put the fear in him, it opens up your opportunities as ZOUN. Now you can go, oh, I can fake aggression. He's going to react a bit harder. He's going to be focused more on scouting. If I deny that scouting, I can get more value. So there's a lot of good bonuses that he can do. Cybercore Gateway, he's got the pylon there as well. We'll take the 3rd down there. Clem doesn't have a lot of tactics. Clem actually has a lot more range than people give him credit for. Don't get me wrong. Clem does not have the range of like a Cyril, I would say. And he does have like a very standard, you know, opening sort of range. But like he's got a lot of different little build orders. Like ever since 5 years ago even, 2020, Clem was already randomizing his builds very well in series, where it felt like he just would have a Rolodex of like 6-8 openings in each matchup. He'd just pick one, randomize it a good amount, so it was hard to know exactly what's going on. But definitely, like, one of the things I always criticize Clem for is he will never proxy Rax Marine. And that's just such a good build to get wins that most Terran champions throughout all history always had to do that to get wins. Eye pistol, advanced targeting, get into the groove. Nothing like some Apple pistol lads out here in the Caprulu sector. Steve Jobs is a bit of a different character in this universe. Instead of going about iPhones and stuff, he's just selling arms. He's an arms dealer, but like with the same business approaches. He's like, oh, you want to repair this? No, you need to come into the iPistol store and pay us $7,000. They're like, but literally, I could just change. All I need to do is fix this single wire. And he's like, ooh, you opened up the back? Your void is what your warranty is voided. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, no. Also, by opening up, that's like copyright infringement because you're trying to steal our. We're gonna sue you for trying to fix your own pistol. They're like, damn, man, why do we ever buy these pistols? But then your friend's like, well, it's just so much easier than a normal pistol. Normal pistols jam. This one never jams. It's so good. You know, like when you try to talk to people that are obsessed with Macs and they're like, Apple's so good. I love my Apple product because it tells me that I like it. And they release a new version of it with less features every few years and charge twice as much. I don't know. I've always been a bit of an Apple hater personally. I think it's hard not to as a gamer as well. Back in the day, Quake 3 was one of the few games we could get running on the stupid Apple computers we had to run in our, was it a design and technology class or whatever in high school? We're like, man, it's hard to get games running on these things. God damn. And then we're like, oh, sweet, we got Quake 3 working. We're like, all right, we're all set. We get into class, they'd be like, draw a square. Now draw a circle. We're like, we did it. They're like, that's all we have planned for the hour because we don't know how computers work. Because it's early 2000s computer-based classes. And we're like, so we're going to play Quake now. And teacher's like, yeah, whatever. Shrug shoulders. We're like, yay! Quake free-for-alls for the next 50 minutes. All right, Void Ray, Oracle, Forge, and Twilight coming in. Let me know in the comments what you guys' favorite game was at school. The other one was Age of Empires 1, was in primary school, year 5, year 6. I got to play a lot of that. And then Soldat was probably around year 10, I would think. Was a very good, fun game to play for a while. Oracle trying to dance past. Oh, taking quite a few hits. Some good memories. SimCity 2000, nice. SimCity 2. Wololo. Oregon Trail. I played a bit of Oregon Trail as a streamer a few years ago. Zombie Grub got me onto it. I think, was it maybe Independence Day or something? I don't know. Some American holiday, I decided to play that to celebrate one of your freedom holidays by getting dysentery and dying crossing a river repeatedly. It was great. I was like, is this what freedom is? And they're like, yes. This is what our country is built on. And I was like, oh, this is like depressing, man. I was like, it's cool. I've got ammo this time. I've got food. It's all good. Oh, we got dysentery again. How? How do I always get dysentery? This game sucks. All right, guys. The Adept's there. We're going to shade back. Oracle guarding the Adept on the tower. Dude, ZOUN's doing a really good job of map control. Sorry for all the extra banter today, by the way, guys. We've got so many of these big Masters Coliseum series, and I'm casting like a few on this first day. So my mind's just wandering a bit as I watch so many epic, mostly Protoss vs. Zerg matches, hey. Lots of PvZ in this tournament. This is truly the PvZ tournament. Oh, quick Spire. I was criticizing REYNOR in his earlier match for getting the Spire so late at like 7 minutes almost. This one, 6:10, 6:15. What is that? That's like 6:05. That's a quick Spire. That's really good. And he's got the melee coming in, so he can defend from Blinkstalker aggression. Unfortunately for him, it's charged. It's not Blinkstalkers. There's one Oracle, one Void Ray into a Prism. I like that he's doing one Oracle, one Void Ray again in ZOUN, trying to make REYNOR a bit more scared. But REYNOR saw the gases. He's scouting with the earlier Overseer as well to confirm what's up. He seems to realize this isn't too scary. He will need to build probably, I think, at least 8 roaches, though. He's got 7 roaches. He's building 4 more. 11 roaches plus Lings and Queens should be able to deflect this. It's going to be 10 gate, though. Oh, ZOUN loves his 10 gate timing. I got to do a little bit of strategy kind of discussion / coaching consultation with ZOUN back in the day when he was on Alpha X. And one of the big things I tried to break him out of the habit of was going 10 gate every game. Because I felt like he spends too much on his production, and it means his timing attacks are like super committed. On the other hand, dude, he can warp in more Archon Zealot than everyone. He does the sickest timings. That was PvP advice, because he would sometimes die to like early heavy blink timings when his gateways were powering up. But I remember he was just like, dude, I love my 10 gates on 3 base, and he will make use of it. He will make so many Zealots and Stalkers in PvP, Zealots and Archons in this matchup. But that's a big raw ball of Roach Queen. Oh, the Stasis barely gets focused down as well. And he's like, dude, that's a lot of roaches. He knows he needs immortals. So he starts immortals. 4th base goes down over there. Ling counter attack for REYNOR. If he can find that Nexus, it would be great. But he doesn't see it, and that's unfortunate. Zealot's hot in his tail. Fifth base goes up for Reynor on the right side. He does not have 7th and 8th gases just yet. I think he needs those because he doesn't have any Ravagers, and I think Ravagers would be huge in this scenario. He's trying to make Zerglings. Zerglings are worthless. You've seen Mass Zealot Archon. Zerglings are a worthless unit in this sort of game, in my opinion. I think if Reynor could get more drones and take those gases, he'd be in a good spot, but guess what? He's a bit scared because of what happened in the previous game. Now, there is a Prism in the top left. I think the Mutas are going to get spotted coming out. Are they? He sees them. Yeah, the Mutas are just like, okay, whatever. You fly past. We'll take you out. Oracle definitely sees the Mutalisks. He's already got a battery in his third. Cannon goes up in his main. He's got some guarding his natural wall, but the Oracle does go down. The Mutas should fly into the main right now. I'm not sure why Reynor's being so delayed on that. Just taking his time a little. Top left side. Roaches get force fielded. Remember, no Ravagers. Roaches are at least very cheap, though, so you can afford to trade these in a bit of a sloppy way if there's just a few Archons on their own. Very nice engage here for Reynor, getting a few of those Archons. Only like 1 or 2 force fields left. He's going to need those force fields out sooner rather than later. Links from behind, and that is a decisive shove. Reynor gets on top, and those Roaches and Ravagers, they vomit all over that Zerg army. The next Immortal goes down. Biles the Zealot that's warping in. Mutalisks in the back, trying to take down a Phoenix Sound, trying to micro that in the midst of everything else. But I think Reynor just took an excellent trade. Remember, guys, what is the goal in ZvP? As a Zerg player, it is to kill the Protoss army before it reaches a critical mass and a size at which point those powerful Protoss units scale so well. Biles land, taking out a sentry and heavily damaging a Void Ray. He did manage to do a lot of damage, but the tail end of this fight was very good for ZOUN. ZOUN is not out of it yet, guys. Only 77 workers and no extra gases for Reynor. He's got 4 Mutalisks. Now notice he built 1 extra. Why? Because it takes 5 Mutalisks to one-shot a probe, so he wants those Mutalisks to be able to continue the aggression. But in the midst of the chaos, he's a little disorganized, so that Muta's on the right side of the map. And there's a single Phoenix there, which means these Mutalisks ain't going to do much. They kill 2 probes, and that Phoenix should be able to hunt down at least 1 or 2 of them. All right, guys, Roachling here. ZOUN counterattacking. Reynor has to give up his 5th. He's making Ravages. They're going to be a big game changer. It's just Stalker Zealot on 3 base, remember. It's okay to lose your 5th here as Reynor tries to actually get a bit of trade, but man, the Zerglings ain't going to be very good here. If the Zerglings were counterattacking, maybe they could get some surrounds or some run-bys into these bases. But for now, it's just defend the frontal push. ZOUN's going Blink. He's got +2 attack, only +1 melee done for Reynor. Reynor's going Banelings with +2 melee. I think +1 range is the more important upgrade. I've talked about this a lot recently, but Reynor still trying to play the old school +2 melee style. And against a guy who opened Heavy Zealot Archon, not that great. It will help a lot once there's mostly Stalkers. He's got to click that Archon, man. You can't be letting that red hit point Archon just stare you in the face. Finally, he does take that one down. The Roach Ravager, I think there's enough numbers. This seems pretty desperate for ZOUN. Blink is finished, but the Stalkers are let Void Ray taking the damage. Oh, don't let it escape. That Void Ray will go down. Mutas managed to hunt it. 4 more Mutalisks on the way. He wants to get that Muta count back up so that he can deal with all of this. Shut down the Prism, shut down the Phoenix, and potentially do some counterattacks as well. Really good hold by Reynor. And I love that his early opening killed how many Immortals and Archons? 7 Archons, 2 Immortals have gone down. Quite a few of those Archons and Immortals died in his first push. Stalker, Zealot, Sentry, and Archon hanging out right now. Someone in the chat typing exclamation mark prize pool of Masters Coliseum 10k I think 12k. How much was it, guys? Somewhere between that 8 to 15,000 mark. I'm not sure of the exact prize pool of the tournament, but pretty damn good for an online event. Baneling's morphing on the front. He's going to try and engage before they finish. Stalkers blink forward. Good dodges of most of those Biles. ZOUN's micro excellent, but that's a lot of Banelings that are going to finish morphing. The Roach Ravager Baneling doing their thing. Muta's going to fly past at the same time, take out the Phoenix in the natural. Banelings aren't really doing that much here. ZOUN defending so well, but so well ain't enough when you're down 50-60 army supply. Reynor fights back, ties up the series. Really nice aggression with the Mass Roach while the Mutalisks kept ZOUN pinned in the back. All right, guys. We got ZOUN in the top left side of the map here and a Reynor in the bottom right. Now, I think he was in a decent spot in that last game, but it's always tough if you don't realize those Mutas are coming a little bit earlier and you get those Immortals and Archons caught out, you know? It's just, there's that window, that narrow window where if the Zerg catches you, you can struggle. Now, this is, of course, Hatchery before Overlord, so looks like just a 15-15 build. Probably just goes for the spawning pool now at 200 minerals, and indeed he does. Yeah, Reynor ensuring he gets that expansion up. ZOUN going for a gate scout, though. ZOUN's played pretty conservative on his opening. Now, with this building placement, it does look like he's going to wall off the front and then build like a Stargate maybe over there. or a second gateway later to wall that off. Pig, are you planning on casting the entire bracket from this to the finals? I'm basically not casting them in exact order. So we're going to be putting up what I consider to be the biggest, most highlight-friendly matches leading into the finals. And then we'll go back and backfill over the YouTube channel over the next few days. You know, after that, a few of the mirror matchups and games between maybe not as big fan favorites, but matches that were still, in my opinion, incredibly hype, even though I know not that many people will click on it, right? Like, if there's like, you know, whether it's a ZOUN versus a Gumiho or something like that. I know not that many people are going to click on those names, even though I know from watching how they both play, it'll be an exceptional series, right? And I just think, you know, there is a bit of a race to the finish line to get the finals out quickly, but I'm not going to force it out. I think a lot of people don't follow tournaments live who watch on YouTube, won't be spoiled either way. So it's better for me to just kind of show the highlight series leading into it. So after this series, I will probably be showing just the lower bracket finals and then the grand finals as the next two matches after this one to go out. And then we'll start working our way back through the other matchups just in whatever order, just to showcase the other really good mirror matchups and close matches that haven't been covered from the playoffs. So at the end of the day, this tournament had a lot of banger matches that got highly recommended to me. So even though I haven't watched the games themselves, I try to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible, despite knowing the end result of the overall tournament. I knew there was a lot of series that I'd be wanting to cast from the Masters Coliseum. By the way, it was $15,000 prize pool. Thank you, Twitch chat, for updating us on that. It's a juicy prize pool. 6K for first place, which is pretty damn big. Can ZOUN use ping as an excuse? Well, yeah, he's a pro gamer. Pro gamers, you know, the first rule of pro gaming is you always have an excuse. And oh, it was lag. That's like one of the main ones. Up there with the cat jumped on my keyboard. House is on fire. Mum told me I have to go do homework. You know, all the standard excuses are there. Obviously, if you're playing a European and a Korean, you're both playing on the NA server. They would be alternating Central US server one game, US West the next, and it would, of course, allow that to happen. Second gateway goes up there as well. The pool's on fire? Oh, sorry, I couldn't focus because my swimming pool's on fire. Bye. GG, no re. You know, you're like, what? Void Ray goes down. Nicely done. Void Ray first again. Ovi speed. Oh, REYNOR showing mad respect. He's like, dude, he did a dirty all in game one. If he's going Void Ray, I'm going to make Overlord speed to ensure I don't get surprised by any sneaky BS. And that's ZOUN forcing REYNOR to play quite defensive. So the best thing you can do here as ZOUN is just macro. Stop trying to hit timing attacks. You've already opened up two out of two games with timing attacks. You can't do another Zealot Arc on here. Play Blink into a fourth base, Storm or Double Forge or whatever it is. I think if he plays, you know, a bit more of a standard style like that, that'll be good. ZOUN has very good late game. He's not like a one-trick timing attack master, guys. So, I think... Oh, he's putting another Void Ray. What? Oh, don't play Sky Toss, bro. That's dumb. He's going to play Sky Toss. I don't think REYNOR was born yesterday. Dude, did he just go Overlord speed into a 4.5-minute lair? REYNOR playing so safe. He wants a quick Spire, potentially, if it's air. He wants quick, you know, Roach speed, quick Overseer Scout, speed Overseer. So I just... Wait, why are we going 2 Void Ray into Forge Twilight? Okay, ZOUN's drunk, guys. Did someone take the soju away from ZOUN? From Drown? That's drunk. Drunk ZOUN becomes Drown, apparently. D-R-O-U-N. Drown. Void Ray. Second Void Ray gets spotted. Overlord will go down. Oracle comes in, gets a few drones. Not bad, man. Not bad damage at all. If you've already killed 2 Overlords, 6 drones, and then if you just do a macro build, you're in a decent spot. I mean, your third base is already up. Only thing drowning right now is REYNOR's economy. He rushed a lair, he rushed Overlord speed, and that slows down your droning, mate. Nah, to be fair, he's done a good job with his drones. He does cancel his Roach Warren. I think we're going to go Hydra Den, are we? Yeah. Oh, but he decides to rebuild the Roach Warren anyway. He's like, probably want that wall off. Why not? Ling speed actually got delayed. Oh, he delayed his Ling speed. Oh, so Overlord speed actually didn't change his economy. Sorry, guys. I didn't notice this. He canceled Ling speed, made Overlord speed instead. So the way that works is your build ends up timing out exactly the same as it would if you'd just gone Ling speed. The only difference is you struggle to deal with the depths, which is part of why he had to wall off on that side. So very good adjustment there. Fourth hatchery, taking a lot of damage. Don't tell me he's going to lose it. No way. He's got transfuses. He can push it back. I would still be transfusing that hatchery if I was Reynor, because that is dangerously low. Stalkers could come in there and click on that if they want. Why is he still building Void Rays, guys? Is ZOUN trolling, or is this good? ZOUN is really giving me shades of Zest right now. Like, this feels like, you know when you watch Zest and his build makes no sense, and then he just kills everybody, and you're like, oh, and then everyone copies it, and you're like, that was actually a good build. But, like, it's just so contrary to the current meta and established knowledge right now. He's going triple Void Ray into Storm with no Immortals out yet. His Robo's just now starting. Sentry warping in as well for Guardian Shield. And Reynor's going to go for a Roach Hydra all in. No, actually, Hydraling. He's going to go double drop a lot. So he's going to try and drop into the expansions, try to do Hydraling multi-prong. Storm's going to be good against this. But you're going to need cannons as well. Cannons will probably be the most important part. Reynor, 67 workers going hyper-aggressive. Ling's trying to run in on that base. Storm's not ready yet. Good move there with the hold position, but he doesn't hang around. He doesn't want to F around and find out. He's going to go for a, what is that, 6 Hydra, 4 Zergling drop into the natural. That will overwhelm a cannon very quickly. 3 Void Rays if they find the drops are like the best unit in the game. In a frontal fight, they're not very good. They could be used to focus Roaches down really well, but there's no Roaches on the field. And it kind of makes it look like a Skytoss build, but because he went Overlord speed, Reynor knows what he's playing against. Now, Reynor's droning up behind this. Still pretty committed to this attack. He definitely needs damage. 16 Hydras, 51 Zerglings. 6 of those Hydras are around the back. He's going to go towards the main, but there's a cannon there. It's kind of a shame that Reynor's dropping 2 separate bases right now, guys, because it would be better if he clumped up these units and just went for one. Stalker warping in the main. He quickly turns around. Cannon in the natural, and those drops both have to pull away. Oh, Reynor sat on 67 workers for a long time. Gets no damage done. This is amazing for ZOUN. ZOUN has 4 High Templar banking energy. He could take a 4th base now while making Immortals. I mean, he's got to keep making Immortals, and a second Robo would be the biggest priority. ZOUN's Immortal stuck in his natural wall off. 4th Nexus does go down. A couple Zealots in the top right waiting to go in. This is a CIA build, says Twitch chat. Super secret. Yeah, no one's unclassified this one just yet. I don't know if they'll have to unless ZOUN wins with it. But I mean, ZOUN's getting to later stages. I think the Void Rays have kind of confused Reynor. To be fair, I think Reynor, you know, maybe if he just went for a giant Roach Hydra, dropped a bunch of Overlords there, started killing cannons, I think he could have done really well. But I would have liked to see 4 or 5 Dropper-Lords in the natural. Like half the army hits the 3rd from over here. The other half hits in the drop. Instead, he's had to pull back now. Gives up his 5th base. This is a crazy push, though. You don't want to go any deeper here, surely, as ZOUN. Zealots find the Hydras on the right side. Hydras do disengage. Oh, he's going to lose +2 if ZOUN commits, but ZOUN does not commit. Lurkers spread across these bases now. Seismic Spines has just started. That is the Lurker range ability. Muscular Organs to the Hydras is already finished. Groove Spine's about to be there. +2 range will help out that army a lot. And a lot of Lings up there. They could surround these Zealots and take him out, but with no melee, the Zealots, of course, 2-shot the Zerglings, and the Zerglings don't kill the Zealots very quickly. Oh, this is so many Zerglings going down. Gosh, that's awful. Lurkers, good shots. He could get the High Templar if he's not careful. With only 8 range, though, they can't quite reach them. Observer out front is chilling. Tempest coming in one at a time. 2nd and 3rd Stargate on the way as well, guys. ZOUN threatening on the front. He could take a 5th behind this. He's going mothership. What a weird play. I love this. The fact that ZOUN has put Reynor in such a defensive mindset, you can kind of see that Reynor, I think he might have made this build look really bad if he just went all out on some sort of Roach Hydra timing, right? Like some sort of Roach Hydra or something like that. I think ZOUN would have really struggled to defend a Roach Hydra all in with a drop in the back and attack on the front. But Reynor's like, oh god, what's happening? He's confused. He's struggling to figure out what ZOUN's doing because it is so off meta. And as a result, it's becoming hard. Those Zerglings need to pull back. Those Zerglings are way too far forward. So the Hydras weren't really fighting the army there. And you can see right now, Hydraling's struggling to clean this up, especially if the storms come down. But does clear the front line of Protoss. Reynor. Oh, random Immortal rallying across the map. That is unfortunate. The Immortal turns around and will clean up that Hydra. That is a hilarious interaction right there. Meanwhile, pushing the ramp. If you can get rid of that Cybercore, that could be nice. But of course, Reynor struggling a little bit. Gateway does go down. Those sentries on the high ground could fall as well. He's got the Overseer there. Storms all over the Lurkers. Very nicely done. Is ZOUN going to clean this up with the Void Rays? Yes, he is. He's trying to take down the Lurkers, the Overseers. High Templar coming forward, getting jumped on a little bit, but the Void Ray pops a few Lurkers, or the Void Rays do. Where's his other Void Ray, guys? Oh, he's up here. He was watching for Overseer going around the top. So he was specifically had this Void Ray up in the top side of the map, trying to make sure that there was nothing that snuck past. By the way, guys, what the hell was this creature? Is that like an undersea Leviathan skeleton? What in the heck? That's massive. All right, Spire's on the way. Reynor's getting ready for that next step. I'd like to see Lurker try to run by on the left. Lurker down here with an Overseer as well. And a Lurker drop into the natural would be really nice. Like, if he can set up some 3-prong, Reynor can make some magic happen. But right now, we're getting a maxed out red Protoss player for ZOUN. That skeleton was your mum, Pig. Really? Really? Cool. She thick. She thick, she strong. All right. Lurker Hydra over there as well. Tempest, Void Ray. Here we go, Lurkers. Siege, siege, siege. Ooh, careful. Tempests, man. The Tempests are out now, and I'll tell you what, every Zerg has their heart sink a little bit when they see those Tempests, because they know they got to play late game now. And ZOUN's going to be much happier here than Reynor. He obviously he's still tense. He knows he's just got to defend. A few waves of cheeky BS. Speaking of which, oh, big Lurker Hydra drop in the natural. ZOUN comes up with his air army, though. His air army's going to mince it, but at the same time, Reynor's real damage will happen on this side. Good storms for the High Templar. He's going to be able to kill a few bases. Oh, the probes didn't run away at all. 20 workers went down, but the Lurkers almost all cleaned up on that top side, which is really nice. Lurkers coming in on this base as well. A bunch more workers just went down. ZOUN doing a really good job of dealing with the army and pulling back his army, but a bad job of pulling back his workers. And 34 probes have gone down. If he just replaces those, he'll be fine, but I think ZOUN's doing the ZOUN special. Is he? There's no probes. He's doing the ZOUN special. Now, you might be wondering, what is the ZOUN special? It's where you don't reprobe. You just go for a counter all-in. You say, thank you for clearing up my worker supply. Now I have a bigger army. Except he's not actually, because he just started up 4 probes. He just started doing it with a bit of a delay. Made sure he didn't die, but he killed a lot of Zerg there. He is up 4,000 resources in the units lost. I mean, ahead. Obviously, Reynor's lost 4,000 more resources than him. And a nice Lurker run by is going to go in as the army skirmish in the middle. Hydra's trying to get out of there. +1 carapace never got made, so it's just +2 Hydras against +2 ground, +1 air from ZOUN with Mothership there, Void Rays, Storms, Immortals, and Zealots. It's so scary. Reynor trying to run away. He doesn't have Frenzy yet. Yes, the Lurkers are doing good harassment on these bases, denying his economy, killing a lot of workers, but he's just lost so many Hydras. 40 Hydras and 15 Lurkers have gone down in this game. Meanwhile, Zealot attack down the bottom as well. Reynor's on 83 workers. That might be too many. 11 Corruptors are building for him, but those 3 Void Rays left over from the early game could actually cause him a lot of problems. Now, there are still Lurkers all over the shop, but one got cleaned up behind the 4th, one up there above the 5th. Now one runs in behind the natural. The Observer's got to go deal with that. You can see if he's not watching, that could do massive damage. Whoa, dude, Reynor's going for the counter. Reynor is not going to defend at home. Queens in the north side. I don't know why there are queens in the top center of the map, but there are, and they are dying to Zealots. Down there in the middle, looks like the Hydraling will kill an expansion or 2, but losing control of his own economy at the same time. Reynor has 13 Hydras, 13 Corruptors, only 1 Lurker. He needs more Lurkers or he cannot stop this advance. ZOUN, I think, is happy to give up this ground, but oh god, he's got to run his probes! ZOUN's biggest weakness has been running workers away from bad situations today. He's going to lose so many. Another 22 probes go down on top of the 30 or so that died just a minute ago. Zealots coming forward, drones trying to run away. Reynor does not have a good army, guys. It's Hydraling Corruptor. This whole army is countered by Storm, basically. Oh my gosh! Corruptor's in the open. Doesn't panic Storm, which I guess is kind of good. Did that Lurker Corpse just fly up 200 feet? Floated up would be the correct description. We are on the bottom of the ocean floor. You'll notice there's coral and fish swimming around the battle. And yeah, you can see there's little fishies. We're under the ocean right now. So you float up when you die. Because that's how physics works. Hello? Don't you guys, like, understand science? Like, it totally makes sense that they're under the ocean right now. Shh, don't think too hard. Corruptor Hydraling trying to hang out. Lurker's still on the high ground. ZOUN's going to try and reestablish some semblance of an economy. Reynor, funnily enough, is mining more than him right now, but he's way down. 40 army supply, and that is just... that's a problem of Protoss. You know, I was like, what do you even call this? It's not really the Golden Armada, because there's Storm, Mothership, Tempest, Void Rays, Archons, and more. It's just a problem of Protoss, you know? A murder of crows, a flock of birds, a problem of Protoss, and that's all Reynor's thinking right now as he unzips his fly, takes down that Nexus. Does manage to take it out with the Caustic Spray, but his own hatchery is going to get caught as well. Oh, gets killed, not cancelled. That's a problem. But Lings find the last key mining base. Corruptors hanging out above the Stargates, ready to unzip their fly one more time. Hydras and drones on the other side force a Zealot recall. And it's time for ZOUN to push in. He says, enough is enough. Let's go, son. The Ling Hydra for REYNOR is going to have to make this a base trade, but he's not quite going for it yet. Zealot's finding another hatchery over there. Overlord's starting to go down. REYNOR's going to get supply blocks very soon. He's got to run these OVs away, but there's too much happening. Finds a base on the other side. Those Zealots will go down. Zealot's going to kill this base. He does cancel it at the very last second, but his Overlords, oh, and he is officially in the red when he loses just one more Overlord. ZOUN has obviously hit the red as well, as a few of his pylons went down, and a few Nexi from those Corruptors. But there we go. REYNOR's in the red as well. Down 50 army supplies, trying to build a few Zerglings. Watch what happens to these Zerglings as they pop out. They try to escape. And if you're losing all your Zerglings to Tempest Archon as they pop, it's a bad feeling. Right now, REYNOR pulling back to this northern base. Yeah, I don't even know. This is... Okay, so if the Zerg here with a Rohirrim, this is Helm's Deep in the top. Problem... in this version, the Protoss, who are the Uruk-hai, Saruman said, you know what, rather than a barrel that you have to carry, we're going to give you trebuchets that like lob nukes, basically. We're gonna give you giant floating capital ships that shoot lasers from multiple kilometers away and one-shot the enemy army. Oh, by the way, also giant floating mothership. Gonna turn our entire army invisible. Also gonna put a time warp on the opponent that like slows their movement and attack speed. Oh, also, and I can teleport units all the way from my tower over. What's Saruman's tower? What's that place called again? But over from there into the battle. So meanwhile, they're like, it's okay. On the third day, Serral will ride in from the west or whatever. And you're like, will he? Will Serral ride in from the west, REYNOR? That's basically what his troops have been told. REYNOR's probably just doing it to keep spirits up. He probably knows it's a bit of a lost effort here, a bit of a lost game. Does pick up a few Tempest and an Oracle for just one Viper, but that is one of only 2 Vipers, which means he cannot rebuild it. Isengard. Oh! We're taking the Hobbits to Isengard, to Isengard, to Isengard. How did I forget that? You know, I hear that song in Harstem's voice. I wonder why that is. He must have sung that way too many times to me. Anyways, I think that was his favorite song for a good year there. Tempest coming forward. I mean, there's just nothing you can do as REYNOR. He abducts it. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Lurker's trying to hold. Hydra's trying to... This is just such a better Protoss army. There's no way, man. The Archons clear the ground. The Lurkers are all gone. Time Warp goes down. REYNOR knows he's done for. And ZOUN takes a 2-1 advantage. GG, well played. All right, guys, down in the top right side, once again going Gate Scout. REYNOR in the bottom left goes for a hatch gas pool. And did he get away with that spawning pool just standard 16? So that started 30 seconds ago now. 46 seconds. Yeah, that's a standard 16 hatchery. So REYNOR got to do a really standard build because ZOUN's not trying to block. So ZOUN may be a little predictable with his start. I'd love to see him either not scout at all or play... yeah, basically either don't scout at all the next game or go really early and block the hatchery. One or the other would be great. We have to acronym Hatch Gas Pool to HGP. Oh, because what I love listening to when I go to a new strategy game is hearing the jargon. You know, like the first time hearing someone like talk about their Mechabellum, they're like, oh, I need some more upshoot. I don't have enough carry units to deal with his giant killers. And I was like, guys, these are some bad terms. This is like, every game has really stupid jargon. But like StarCraft jargon, is like, especially, is like, oh, he's doing a HGP versus CC first. Oh, now he's going to go to the natural. Like, why do we call it a natural? Just call it the second base. Like, we should have, but it's obviously so ingrained. I'm not going to change now. There's like a bunch of just unnecessary jargon that we use, right? He's like, he's doing a Destiny Cloudfist build. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that one was obviously a meme that Husky tried to get started back in the day. But, yeah. Upshoot takes the cake for jargon. Is anti-air too many syllables? Well, it just teaches you about the sort of community you've got in Mechabellum. It's one of my favorite games right now. I honestly have the most time in it, probably out of pretty much any game, maybe besides maybe StarCraft in the last few months since it came out. But yeah, the fact that they call upshoot or anti-air upshoot is I'm like, is your whole game community like 4chan memes or something? Like, it's like, I don't know. I hear someone say upshoot and I immediately think of all of those those like meme face guys, like what are like those depressed, like, you know, they all have different names. There's like, not like troll face, but like the different like the guy with like he's got like he looks really unshaven and he's like a lonely dude. Oh, what's that meme guy called? Or like a rage face. Yeah, it's like it's just like, I'm thinking like there's one that, oh, I can't remember the name of it. I have like a whole folder of them for when I'm doing Salt Mines content. Yeah, maybe like a soy jack. Yeah, like a soy jack or a wojak. Maybe, yeah, wojak or a soy jack or something. Yeah, yeah. Those are the ones I'm thinking of. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Twilight Council, guys. That's going to be a Glaive Adept follow-up. Almost certainly. Unless it's a super quick blink opening, but I mean, he delayed his second Oracle for it. Gets himself the lava. Limits the production there a little bit. And can we get another one? Nice. Third Nexus goes down. It's a little delayed, but only a little. Let's go to Reynor's vision, guys. We got to get inside his head. Does he realize Glaives is coming? It's still a while away. He doesn't need to realize yet. No, I'm just getting inside his head right now. I want to watch from his point of view. He's going to go 7 queens very early. And he has no vision. He's going to try and send the Overlord in. I don't think that gets in. Yeah, you can see he's doing a lot of things very quickly. His camera's bouncing around. He's building a lot of queens, but it's really important that these Lings figure out what's happening, or this Overlord, which is going to try to go down the right. But ZOUN should spot that and easily block it with a Stalker Warp. And now, it's actually a Blink build. Wait, why is he rushing Blink this early? That's crazy early Blink, guys. Into 4-gate. Ooh. Okay, Reynor's going to have trouble defending a 4th base, especially because he's gone Roach Horn before Evo Chamber, which makes me think he's probably going to go Roach Hydra. I don't think he's planning on opening melee, and that's going to be tough. Because without melee to defend these fast Blink Stalkers, 6-gate, yeah, big all in. Dude, ZOUN's just hitting timing attacks. I didn't think these worked anymore in this matchup. He believes, though. He's already been putting Reynor in the defensive throughout this series, and he's going to continue doing that. But look at that. Overlord does come in. A couple Stalkers get spotted. This looks kind of normal. He doesn't see a Forge next to the Twilight, but he gets spotted. Okay, so ZOUN gets spotted, and you know what, guys? He decides, okay, I'm not going to go all in. You've seen it, and he changes. He switches gears now to a heavy pressure. He drops a Forge. He starts building probes nonstop. And what was going to be potentially an all-in off 6-7 gateways here of Stalker, maybe not an all-in, but a heavily committed pressure. I think he becomes slightly less committed now that Reynor has the info. Then again, Reynor's melee is coming in very late. Reynor's trying to build a few more drones. He's going to go above 60 drones, which might be too greedy against this, but he finds the 2 Adepts on the left. Finds the 2 Adepts on the left side, which is good. Reynor's trying to mass Zerglings. Few Zerglings do get frozen on that stasis trap. Oh, Reynor doesn't set this stasis trap off. Oh, he doesn't get it. The stasis is still right there. That's unfortunate. Okay, Reynor has to realize. Hopefully he does realize that's there. Roach speed has not started, and he goes immediate infestation pit. My man, Reynor is already thinking about lurkers, guys. Oof. Charge in +1 on the way. 4th base before taking a 5th gas. Robo, 2nd Forge. He's a gateway man, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why, whenever I hear gateway man, I always hear like the beginning of the Scatman song in my head. He's a scat man. You know, like it's, I don't know why. That's just the theme song in my head. Nice cancel on the Nexus attempt there. I don't think he even started it though, did he? Yeah, I don't think he did. He just maybe denied the probe that was over there. I think he just killed the probe. Let's see, either way, delaying that attempt is really nice. Trying to go Hive, 2nd Evo, Bailey Nest. Reynor's going to try and play Ultras. Ultras is one of the coolest styles out there. Remember, he lost a grand finals playing Protoss vs Dark Zerg a couple of years ago to Ultras. And it's an amazing style. 2nd Evo, almost always, with a fast Hive, ends up being Ultras because you want Carapace and Melee going at the same time. It's really good against Gateway Man style because Zealots get shredded, and Stalkers, while they can kind of micro around Ultras, they take a long time to get through them. So Ultras are a nice defensive unit, and if you ever kind of flank the Stalkers or catch them from multiple sides, you can smash them. Is that where the original Skibbity came from, guys? The Scatman? Scatman song? 3 more gateways coming in, 9 gateways, 2-1 upgrades on the way for Protoss, but Protoss needs Robo. ZOUN You're up 2-1 in this series, dude. You need robos. He doesn't realize though, right? He just doesn't have the info. Like, we know that there's a hive. There should be an ultra cavern immediately. Oh, this worker's not mining gas. Where is that ultra cavern? And there it is in the back of the natural. Zealots going around the top side. 5th base up top left is a bit vulnerable. There's a lot of Zerglings nearby though, and Adrenal Glands has started Overlord speed as well. It's a very colorful production tab, which is one way of saying there's a lot of upgrades going for REYNOR, but I mean, his army is almost purely Zergling with a few roaches. It's really bad against Storm or Archons or Colossus. Luckily for him, ZOUN's not building any of those. And those Zealots will go down. Service down the bottom. Templar Archives only now coming in. ZOUN is on 75 worker, 4-base Gateway Man style. This style struggles very hard with Lurkers. It struggles very hard with Ultras. It's not a very common style these days. 5th base goes down for ZOUN on the right. ZOUN continuing to try and trade here. The Zealots with the +1 are two-shotting the Zerglings. Nice upgrade lead. Oracle's going to try to help out. The Stalker's getting overrun though. And as the Roaches come back, these Stalkers need to blink north. ZOUN's not blinking. I'm finding that a little surprising that he's not blinking right now. He finally does blink. More Zealots coming up, but he's lost so many Stalkers. REYNOR actually doing so well with just +1 melee Adrenal Zerglings and a handful of Roaches. What the hell is going to happen once he makes Adrenal, once Chitinous Plating and +2 melee kick in? +2 melee and +1 Carapace have kicked in. +1 armor may be there for Protoss. +2 about to kick in, which will bring his Zealots back to two-shotting Zerglings. But it's the 4 Ultras with Chitinous Plating on the way. That's the real problem. And that's where I think REYNOR is just going to have a party. He's going to overwhelm this really hard if ZOUN does not make double Robo and start making Archon Immortal right now. You need Archons or Storm for the Zerglings. You need Immortals for the Ultras. If you do not have those units, well, you better micro these Stalkers like a god. But when you're down this far in army supply, I don't know if that's possible. Stalkers starting to fall. Decent blink backs, but Zerglings continue forward, and those Stalkers are valuable. Remember, REYNOR has 81 workers. Zerglings are very cheap. He can afford to throw away some Zerglings. And he's going to continue to that south side. I'm surprised he's not attacking the north. He's still waiting for Chitinous Plating. Kicks in 3 seconds. He's also got +2 melee started, +3 attack. This middle hatchery vulnerable. REYNOR is going to be really happy to take a fight. Now, surprisingly, no Vipers or Infestors. Against this army, I think Infestors are amazing. But I guess he's just a bit too gas-starved. That'll be something he adds later, as well as potentially Spire or Lurker Den. Another cancel on a hatchery, but every time he's canceling the hatchery, he's not really hurting REYNOR. ZOUN's losing so many Zealots. Oh, these Zerglings with Adrenal destroy, and the Overlords getting ready to drop in that main base, but the Stalkers are here. Overlords need to hide. Oh, and they barely managed to hide over there. Meanwhile, Lings and Ultras find the 5th base. ZOUN's caught out. He's continuing to attack. The drop picks up and goes towards his main base. Lings and Ultras are going to clear the 5th. Meanwhile, Max Zealot warping in the main. He's got that 12 gate set up. Spawning Pool's in trouble. Queens are there trying to defend, but they're going to get overwhelmed. Mass Transfuse tries to come down the Spawning Pool. Is the Spawning Pool going to go down? Yes, it is. Mass Transfuse, not enough. There's a new Spawning Pool already building. 5th base in the top left goes down. Ultras and Roaches trying to defend, but they are outnumbered in this fight. Does take down 1 Archon, but he's going to lose that Ultra as well. Just 2 outnumbered in that position. Massling drop in the main. Meanwhile, 4th base gets ransacked by Ultras. Ling drop in the 3rd, as well as more Lings chasing onto that. Zealot warping does deal with it. Back here on the low ground, the Zealots have rotated with the Prism. Drones have to be pulled off that 3rd base. 4th base is in jeopardy. Both sides' economy looking incredibly vulnerable. The first few Immortals have only now come out off that double Robo. 3rd base gets smashed. Both players back to almost no mining. But it is right now REYNOR with the bigger army supply. Ultra and Lings get pushed away from the 3rd of ZOUN. ZOUN maintains 3 base control. Meanwhile, REYNOR has lost his 4th, his 5th, and is back to 3 base. 3 base versus 3 base. That's usually good for the Protoss, but you got to realize Zerg still has 63 drones, which means he can rebuild those hatcheries and immediately be back to where he wants to be in terms of mining. And in terms of army, 9 Ultras, only 2 Immortals out, which means I would still favor this Zerg army over the Protoss army for the immediate future, especially as +3 melee is about to kick in. It's 2-2 versus 2-2 right now. Zerg will be favored once +3 melee is there, but I think he's already favored compositionally anyway. ZOUN, taking a page out of Hero's book, leaves the door open, but he quickly warps in to fix it. Those Zealots will still get smashed, and Ultras and a Roach on that base. Zealot Archon coming back right now. The Ultras got clicked in the mineral line. That means they're going to trap themselves, unfortunately. On the other side, Stalkers. Zerglings are so good against these Stalkers, man. These Zerglings are insane. But look at that. The Immortals and the Archons come back, and some chunky Ultralisk meat just gets tossed. Dude, he did an Ultra drop. Oh, REYNOR gets BDE points, guys, for that big energy. You know when you pick up an Ultralisk and drop it in someone's base, it makes Uncle Pig happy. When did he even load this up? I don't know. Wait, was it the Ultra that was dying here? No, he loaded it up somewhere earlier. When did he load up? Where'd he come from? How long was this Ultra in the top of the map, guys? I'm so confused. Oh, is this guy? He sees the recall, the Ultra loads up, hides in the top. and then he's gonna go drop it in the main a bit later. Legendary. Once ZOUN got distracted and some stuff went down, he clicks that into the main. Nice. That is awesome. GG, well played. The Ultra drop goes in, takes out the probes. REYNOR ties up the series 2-2. Oh, right. Game 5 now. ZOUN in the top right, Ultra Love 2-2. And I love that he's doing so many timings and interesting builds. I really feel like the way ZOUN's playing is very interesting to watch, right? I feel like we've seen so many players doing the same builds over and over and over again. To see ZOUN playing like this, and especially committing to so many timing attacks and weird, you know, the 3 Void Ray opening on Abyssal, this is cool. That being said, if you get your 4th denied, you don't get that economic momentum. You're not able to really slow down the Zerg. It felt like REYNOR just had a bit of an edge in that last game, was a bit ahead, so he really ran with it very nicely. I do wonder if ZOUN could have leaned harder into the blink timing, because it didn't feel like REYNOR seeing those 2 gates really triggered any alarm bells from him. Maybe ZOUN thought he'd been scouted a bit more than he had. Should just cannon rush him, says Twitch chat. Last time a pro player practiced a cannon rush was like 5 years ago, right? I don't know. It's maybe 3 years ago. Whatever the last time parting was active. He was the last player. And I mean, he got people's respect. They'd always send a drone to the natural to be ready for it because he was so good at it. And you could actually on this map, pylon, right? Could you? Or pylon? Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely, this area looks pretty tight. You could do some little wall-offs here or there. Down here is pretty open, pretty bad to cannon rush in that spot. Now, it is once again a very standard hatch gas pool. Like I said, I want to see ZOUN not scout at all, or scout very early. But it seems like opening-wise, ZOUN has a way he likes to open. So it's very consistent, and then he branches off. So it's like an early convergence point up to 4 or 5 minutes, and then he branches off in like 5 different directions from there. Parting kind of just went quiet when Stormgate was mad. Oh, he's playing Supervive now, guys. It's a Battle Royale MOBA shooter game. It's very bright colors. It looks like if Fortnite went to a rave, but top-down viewpoint. And he's like obsessed with it. I was asking him the other day what he's up to, maybe a week or 2 ago, and he's like, I play Supervive all day, every day. I'm one of the top players. And I was like, oh. He's like, have you heard of it? It's really good. You should come play. And I was like, oh. I looked it up. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll try it one day, man. And then I looked at some footage. I was like, it looks pretty zoomery, you know? Like, I kind of feel that way about most competitive games these days. Like, it's the same when I look at Roddy playing Deadlock. And I'm just like, this game looks very zoomery. I think I'm just an elitist. For me, third-person games where you have to play third-person, I kind of just associate with like console kiddies and like just lower quality games that are made for dumb people. Like, because I'm an elitist prick, right? He's just like, yeah, PC games only. You know, like I'm an idiot, right? I'm just like, I have to be elitist about something. I had to tie my identity to my obsession with computer games. Even though I love like Souls-likes, right? They're like the one exception. And Deadlock does look like an insanely high skill game, as chat's saying. It looks insanely high skill and like it would be very satisfying. But there's just like something about the third person view and like the speed of the movement and stuff where I'm like, and the flashing colors, I'm like, oh, there's like part of my old man brain that just like, is like, do I really want to like learn this new game? And like, I don't know why. I think it's just the older I get, the more I'm embracing the fact that really I just want to play turn-based strategy games. And have like 1 or 2 competitive RTS that I love on the side. And then it's like, and then I just want turn-based single player games. So I'm like, oh man, maybe it's just my old man chill gaming arc. We'll see. Deadlock is an insanely stupid game that will never attract even 20% of the Dota 2 player base. Oh. Brainless got some feelings in the chat about it. You just think it feels like a bit mindless? It's all just like clicky. It's just like clicky, like who can aim better? Like it's too mechanical. It did, looking at it, I was like, this seems like the sort of game where it would be incredibly mechanical. Like I kind of get turned off shooters because it feels like most of them are, whilst there is tactics and stuff, I don't know, I guess I'm too lazy to learn the precision with the aim. Anyways, adept shading in. 2 drones there. I think I'm just inexperienced in other genres, to be fair. Adept's coming in, getting some damage. Oracle's got decent damage. I mean, is this worth it? 3 drones? Ooh, if he got one more shot, I would have loved it. 4 drones, 14 Zerglings. It feels like decent damage for ZOUN, but I don't know if it pays off for the late third. Because this third only started at 415. Now you got Zerglings in your face. You're down 9 probes. REYNOR's got a free pass to layer up. To drone up, to layer up, to get up the Evo upgrades. This feels actually amazing for REYNOR. Like, yeah, it looked a little messy for a sec, but he didn't really take critical damage. Now, to be fair, the Oracles didn't die, so it's not like the damage is over for this game. But definitely a good start for the young Italian. He's still young, even though he's a veteran these days. What is he, 24 now? 23 probably only. Actually, he's younger than Clem. Did you guys know REYNOR's younger than Clem? REYNOR's biggest prank that he pulled was nicknaming Clem the Kid while being like 3 months younger than him. And then just giggling while everyone called him the kid while he was actually the younger one. He was always like, yeah, who's this new kid? Deflected the nickname that should have been his. Oracle's coming down here. Lots of gateways coming down, guys. Going to be going up to 8 gateways right now. More and more probes coming in as well. Lots of Zerglings running to the right side. +1 range, roach speed, 7 more drones. Where's the infestation? If you're droning, where's your infestation? Is REYNOR doing a roach max? REYNOR's doing a roach max. It's a roach max all in. He's got enough creep forward. He feels like he can just walk queens to the front, ignore the oracles, and just roach max. It's a 73 drone roach max. He's not on gases on his third, which he should be. He's forgotten to put these workers on gas. Needs to get on that. And he's just going to go for a huge maxed out roach Zergling counterattack, guys. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Here we go. Stasis trap on that right side. You got to be scared of that. Oh my gosh. Gets 2 roaches and a queen. Not too bad. Could have been much worse. Mass roaches coming in. The Zerglings went for a counterattack. They forced some warp-ins there. And now mass Zergling from behind. Roaches and queens from the front. From behind and front. That's what he learned a long time ago. That is how you take down the Protoss. And REYNOR is an expert. Zerglings from behind, roaches in the front. It's a good classic way of doing it. And now the key upgrade finishes. Roach speed is there. ZOUN is incredibly committed off a 9-gate, 3-base, 4 gas blink timing. And for ZOUN, the trick is do not overcommit. Get the hatchery and then keep chipping away. But if you lose Stalkers here, you're in trouble. You have to keep every Stalker alive because your damage is so low as a Protoss player in this scenario. I think he lost 1 or 2 Stalkers already. Yeah, 2 Stalkers went down. Oracle's causing problems. The Queens should turn around. REYNOR trying to just fight Roach Ravager Zergling here. The Oracles take a lot of damage. Another Stalker does fall. Don't get me wrong, the trading should be good for ZOUN, but feels like it's not as good as it could be. This Oracle's barely surviving. The Queens get a force back. Nice transfuse. Biles there landing on one of the Stalkers. I like the way he's spacing his Biles. And at the same time, Ling's threatening a counterattack, but more Stalkers are coming across the map. Roach Ravager Queen trying to hold the line. REYNOR has a massive supply lead. This looks a little scary until you look at the numbers and you realize every second that goes by, REYNOR's production is out of this world. He's rebooting his 4th on the right side. He does have a lot of Queens on the front, so I hope he's still injecting behind this, though. Mass Ling counterattack again! 10 probes going down. If he clicks that battery, that's going to be devastating. And ZOUN, he comes back with the Oracles, but they're out of energy. They're low on juice. One Oracle already shuts off its laser. He refills on another one. But 19 probes have gone down, and this is now a 44 probe all in against the 70 drone Zerg. REYNOR has enough Zerg biomass to clog wherever the hell the Stalker shoots its particle disruptor from. Speaking of which, where does the Stalker shoot from, guys? Is it that red circle on its forehead? No. Oh, I think it is. I think, do they literally have like a Cyclops eye that they shoot out of? Oh my god, they do. Well, yeah, I guess like kind of clogging the barrel of a gun. You put enough Zerg mucus, roach chunks, Zergling chunks in there, it's going to stop firing at some point. 2 more probes go down, more Zealots and Stalkers get warped in at home. Chat says, isn't the gun underneath them? Oh, is it? I don't know. I can't quite see it. The animation happens pretty fast. Oh, I do see what looks like either genitals or a gun from underneath for a second. I don't know exactly what that was. There's something waving around down there. Stalker's poking in and out. We'll see how it goes. Roach Ravager Ling coming forward. Stalker's hanging out, trying to damage the Queen. Ling's going after those units on the left side. ZOUN is down 70 supply with a new 4th base up on the right side. He's going to transfer drones. REYNOR with Mass Ravager should be unbreakable here. Especially if he can squeeze in like a flank or something like that, it could be huge. That's not a gun, that's their face. I swear the lasers are coming out of the red crystal. Guys, I swear it's coming out of the red crystal on their friggin' thing. Up on their forehead. You see this big red circle? I think that's where it's coming from. You guys let me know. We're looking this up. We're doing a deep dive after this game. Watch out for the rocks! Okay, REYNOR pulls back. A single Zergling gets locked in there, but that's good. If he got trapped with a bunch of roaches, he could have got a bunch of Roach Ravager crushed. Nice recall there for ZOUN pulling back. Oracle's finding the right side. Oh! REYNOR caught with his pants down. Drones undefended. And guys, this is why if you do not let Uncle REYNOR take care of your kids, do not let him babysit. He's literally just going to be like, oh, he takes them to the park, drops them off there, and then goes home to play League of Legends. What the hell, man? Those queens trusted you. Left that base completely undefended. Comes back a few hours later, is like, where are they? Why didn't they stay? Thought they were meant to be here. Has to go pick up the kids from the police station. Anyways, Roach Ravager hanging out. The Stalker Sentry trying to defend. ZOUN's numbers are just way too low, man. With those roaches coming in from behind. The way REYNOR just kind of piecing him up, right? Roaches go to the left. They burrow. The Stalker's trying to deal with it. He just burrows. Tunneling clauses on the way. He's breaking the natural ramp. This is great. Oh, killing the Stalkers as they warp in as well. Really good played, man. Very, very good play. Those Roach Ravager moving to the right side. Oracle, oh, dodges the biles. Nicely done. Anytime you have to walk down a ramp like this, it's a problem. He did kill all those roaches on the left, by the way, with the Revelation. That's my bad for not catching that. I'll show that in the replay. Ravagers over there as well. And this just feels like a really solid, defensive attempt for ZOUN. It'll keep him in the game. But REYNOR held on. And I like that he gave up his 4th and didn't bleed into ZOUN early trying to defend it. Waited for his roach speed, his numbers together, made 1 billion Ravages. And he's just kind of got himself, in that winning position. He doesn't feel the need to force it. He's going to max out, let the Stalkers move out a little bit while he does some Tunneling Claw harass. And that, of course, is going to cause huge problems. It is indeed the crystal above their head on the carapace that shoots. It is! It is the red forward crystal that shoots. I friggin' knew it, man. Protoss are basically those people who hang out in those friggin' crystal shops talking about auras, except in their case, it actually does, work. They're like, you have a bad aura? Oh my god, you need some quartz to dilute the negativity in your aura? And you're just like, oh my god, I actually want to hurt myself listening to you speak. The fact that people like that know how to speak full sentences, it's incredible. I just alienated 0.3% of my audience. I'm sorry, guys. It's okay you believe in crystals. Some people believe in a lot of crazy things. I don't know. Who else are we going to smack talk here? Protoss being balanced. Yeah, that's good, man. So the roaches on burrow. And do they even kill a single Stalker? I think they didn't kill anything. I think they damaged a few units, and that was it. That was a really good revelation, but ZOUN was just too far behind, man. REYNOR's getting in his element, and it feels like he's really starting to get a feel for how ZOUN's playing in this series. Alright, guys. We got ZOUN in the top left side of the map. Going to go for a pylon on the low ground, and a REYNOR in the bottom right side as well. REYNOR's going to be going for what appears to be the 15 hatchery. Dude, on King's Cove, guys, he can't physically get here before a minute. Do you know how big this map is? There's no way you need to go hatchery before Overlord, but REYNOR, okay, actually, you know why he's doing it? It's because look at how far that third is. He's like, dude, if I have to take that third, if he sends a probe across at the very start of the game and I have to take that third, I will be so upset. So he's just like, don't even give the opportunity. Open 15-15. He's doing this most games anyway. He's super comfortable with it, super solid with it. Fair enough. It's not a bad build. It's not a bad build. It's just, I thought this would be the map where you be a bit greedy, especially since ZOUN's doing the exact same opening again. Every game, he loves this opening piece. He does not change any game, any map, but it's obviously after the very beginning opening phase where he's changed it up drastically map to map. Now on King's Cove, this map is huge. You know what I'd love to see? Blast from the past. Classics 4-gate Zealot, 4-gate Adept without a robo. You proxy a gateway here, and you warp an Adepts across the rocks. I don't know if that would work in the modern age. I feel like, I don't know, player scouting is so good these days, but you know, these maps are big, and like this map, Neon Violet Square, these old maps that got back into the map pool are actually so big. And there's so many more proxy spots. I've definitely noticed that, like, playing on them in my own games, finding proxies is tough, man. Just proxy charge lot FFS. I mean, that's what you do at my level for sure, right? That's what I do if I'm playing you know, an average Joe Zerg. But when you play the best, unfortunately, charge lot all-ins don't do too well. And he already used up a 3-base charge lot in the first map. Okie doke. Nexus about to be there. Chronoing an Adept across. I guess that's more just to get a scout, to get some vision. Make sure you're not surprised by an all-in. Because you're not really going to get there very quickly with an early Adept, are you? Charge lot seemed to work surprisingly well at that level. I mean, they won that first game. But it's pretty rare you see a charge lot all-in win at this level. Getting Zealots as part of your game, good. 2-base or 3-base charge lot all in very... I mean, 2-base is pretty much never happens anymore. 3-base pretty niche. ZOUN snuck that win in game 1. But I think that's the one and done for that sort of build order in this series. What's the best race music? Everyone knows it's StarCraft 1 Terran. It's not even close. Followed by StarCraft 2 Terran. It's not even close. I think I see the charge lot build work 50% of the time, though. Name the last time it worked. I mean, I'm honestly curious. Maybe I'm just not watching the games you guys are. I feel like I haven't seen it. I feel like, yeah, if we go back to 2019, the Marjorie build was really good, but other than that, it wasn't that great. Hero versus REYNOR? Was there a charge lot all in? Or in a weekly? Hero got in with something? Okay. I'd have to go check out that VOD. Maybe it was in the Wardy Cup or something like that, right? The one that's replaced the Korean Cup? But yeah, I feel like it's so rare these days. Whereas back in the day, man, 2-base, 2.5-base Protoss timings were all the rage. Marjorie works for me in 80% of my PvZs. Below a certain level, charge lot all-ins are amazing. Because, like, you need to do really fast... Like, you'll see Cyril wall off. You'll see him get on the ramp, hold position drones to block, stutter step through a mineral line, use the chokes in the minerals. Like, it's all the fancy stuff that defends a Zealot all-in. Right? It's not, oh, I just have units and A-move it. The reason it's a low percentage build is because it's specifically top-tier pro players in the world blocking the Zealots from getting surface area and just basically saying, hey, there's only so much you can really do to micro your melee units. Like, they will just get stuck behind each other, attacking into choke points and stuff like that. And they just won't... If you don't give them surface area, there's nothing they can do about it. Good pullbacks there. Void Ray doesn't try to take the Overlord, doesn't want to overcommit. 200 hit points on an Overlord. Pretty hard. All right, nicely done, nicely done. Oracle does not get... Doesn't take much damage either, to be fair. Look at how late that Ling speed is, guys. REYNOR has been so greedy this game. He's not going to have Ling speed kick in until like 5:30. I love it. I love this. I mean, this is the sort of stuff where if there was a proxy gateway or something and Adepts coming in, you'd really struggle against it, dude. But REYNOR seems pretty confident this is a normal build despite having no vision, no Ling speed. This is the sort of build where you can't do what REYNOR's doing here every game, or people will call you out. They will get in there with early glaive Adepts or even just non-glaive Adepts, right? You start shading an Adept into the, 2 Adepts in the natural, what are you going to do? You've only got Queens and slow Zerglings until the 5-minute 40 mark. That is crazy. Double Void Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, he's doing the triple Void Ray from Abyssal Reef. Hey, and he's going to try and snipe the 4th. I don't think you get that. Surely, REYNOR reacts a little slow there, but look at that. He can stutter step under the Voids, and they have to back away. He does a bit of damage. Doesn't really kill anything. Void Ray plus a few Warpins should be okay. Probes try to fight, and with the help of the battery, they do pretty well. Nice. No probes going down. Just a little bit of battery energy. And the 6 gas is coming up. Charge +1. Going to 6 gateways now. Those Void Rays are expensive. Remember, each Void Ray Costs 250 minerals, 150 gas. A gateway is only 150 minerals, so this delays his production a lot. He's now going to go for Psystorm, and he's still not got a Robo up, but he will add that behind this. Second Evo is coming in. REYNOR wants to play Ultras. It's a big map. Big maps are good for heavy Zergling into Ultra styles. What could we criticize? What could REYNOR add to that Ultra style? I feel like, if I'm kind of thinking about it, I think it's even better against a Void Ray opening. You're getting Carapace now for your Queens, which helps them beat those. Your Ultras kind of ignore the Void Rays anyway. They really don't do that much damage. Fast Void Ray is so 10 years ago. Oh, I guess 5 years ago we saw a lot of it, right? 4 or 5 years ago. But no, we don't see much F-Veins anymore. The F-Veins upgrade is very rare. Kind of makes your Void Rays run in front of your army as well. It's one of those upgrades that kind of makes it harder to micro, which it was already a niche upgrade, but then, you know, it has that drawback and you're like, do I really want to deal with this? Baneliness is on the way. Hive has started at 720. Oracle's going to fly in. Spore Crawler comes in. That Oracle, good Queen moves. He's not going to see the Hive. Don't think he spotted it earlier, did he? Nope, he's going to push the front. He's like, okay, I don't know what's happening. That's my only scout. I need to push the front. I need to build a new Oracle for scouting as well. This is wise. ZOUN is on 77 workers, going to a 4th base, building counter battery, but he doesn't know what's happening. Is it Mutalisks? Is it Lurkers? What is going on? Now, we can see Roaches are being built. A few Banelings are being built as well. 99 drones for REYNOR. I got 99 problems, and REYNOR's greed is most certainly one of them, guys. Honestly, where is REYNOR from in Italy? Because this is looking like some proper Sicilian levels of mafioso greed. You know, we're talking about just absolutely redonkulous. The man's like, I'm going to build 30 Zerglings, 7 Queens, and I'm going to make 100 drones. And only when he saw that army move out was he like, make Roaches and Banes. Oh, God. Like, you know, he's like, we may have stolen too much public money and done too much, you know, lording it over the local businesses. Like, this guy is wild. He's gotten away with it. This is 1980s New York, man. 1970s New York. It's corruption paradise. Ultra Cavern, Adrenal Glands, +2 melee, +2 Carapace started as well. Apparently he's from Florence. Don't know anything about Florence. Just the name makes me think it's like filled with people with like flowers and they're all smiling and stuff. It's up north, isn't it? Kind of like the wealthier part of Italy, I think. Got his Florence privilege. It's near Milan, maybe? I don't know. Ultra Caverns there. 2 more hatcheries building. How do you trade? It's the only question on this map, right? And I would say you try to roll Banes and just blow this Gateway or Cybercore up and smash Lings into the main and natural. Oh! Lings on their own. Oh, Dropper-Lords. Of course it's Dropper-Lords, guys. That's every game now, isn't it? Dropper-Lords are all the rage. They've been buffed a few times over the last year or so. Slight move speed buff. I think they might unload slightly faster as well. I could be wrong on that, but they definitely do move and accelerate a little faster. It's just a small thing, but it does make a difference since the Overlord's always been the clunkiest drop. Now, obviously, there's a reason why it's the clunkiest drop. It's Zerg. You mass units much easier. You don't want to be able to drop them that well. Also, you don't have to build separate dropships. They're already there because they're your supply unit. You just spend 25 minerals, 25 gas to morph each one into a Dropper Lord, which is quite nice. Now, REYNOR's got 16 Roaches, 6 Banelings, and 92 Zerglings. I don't think ZOUN wants to fight right now. I mean, ZOUN only has 2 High Templar. Yes, they have 4 Storms between them. Oh god, he's left his High Templar behind. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Oh, the Overlords get spotted by a Zealot. REYNOR's taken too long. He's going double spy now. Guys, he's been ahead for a while, I feel like, but like he's letting a 5th base get established. He's chilling. I mean, it's hard to attack on this map. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say this is a good map for Zerg versus Protoss. It's appallingly bad because it's hard to kill the Protoss before they get to late game. But REYNOR's chilling for way too long. He got forced into building a lot of Roaches. Like, ZOUN's first move out was genius because it forced him to make Roach mainling, delayed his Ultras maybe a little bit, and now he's kind of like, oh, the double Chad Ray. They align the beams. They're going to take out 2 full Dropper Lords, and more could potentially go down here as well. The Void Rays cancel their prismatic alignment. They're going to chase after this, and that's a disaster for REYNOR. The Void Rays take down 3 Overlords. He can't get inside the main, and what are you going to do now? I feel like you go for Vipers, and if you land a few Blinding Clouds and Ultraling gets us around, maybe. make some magic happen. Remember, they fixed the range slop as well on the Ultras. Lings setting off a stasis trap there, but a lot of them get caught. The roaches are a garbage unit. You'd love to dispose of these. Any way to get rid of those would be very helpful. Zealots in the south, getting ready for a run by. Reynor's map vision and his creep spread's not that amazing, and the longer this goes, the more we're going to see a Reynor who isn't actively fighting and trading is a Reynor who's losing. When Reynor's fighting constantly, he tends to be winning. When he's just defending, chilling, he's going to be losing in the long run. That's not his forte. But he's chosen his poison. He's picked his poison, as people would say. He's going for neuroparasite infestors. It's all going to be about the underground tentacle. Now, this has given him some insane comebacks in the past versus the likes of Showtime, right? So many big comebacks against Showtime. Massive, massive comebacks. But it's a real big problem if he's not able to do trade early enough, and ZOUN doesn't give him the opportunity to ambush. It's roaches. They get a few zealots. They're going to get cleaned up, though. +2 air opens on the way. Armor coming in on the forge. Should see plasma shields, which he's already queued up on the first forge. Nicely done. 4 more gateways, so he's going to go 16 gates, and ZOUN is rich. So at least double air upgrades are coming. If your opponent moves out into the open and you surround them with Ultraling Bane, great army. Corruptors for the air, Ultras for the ground. This has always been the easiest army to use in late game for Zerg versus Protoss, right? Ultra Corruptor, probably you could kind of call it a one-size-fits-all solution for late game Zerg, actually, to be fair. The game goes long enough. Like, there's certain things that because pros don't run it, people don't realize they could just win every game by A-moving units. And instead I see Platinum League players trying to juggle Viper, Infestor, Lurker, Broodlord. And I'm like, you know you could A-move Ultra Corruptor, right? And they're like, what? That doesn't work, though. I'm like, why do you think that? And they're like, well, I went and asked a pro gamer in their Twitch chat, and they said that's bad. I'm like, yeah, if you're playing the best player in the world, it is bad. Because they'll play perfectly, and they won't let you surround them with Ultras. But if you're playing anyone else, usually they're just going to walk into your Ultras and die, man. Good cancel on the base here for Reynor. I mean, the Lings are cheap, so any run-bys like that are great. Units lost tab, 2,000 in favor of ZOUN, though. It's got 5 Immortals, 5 Tempest, 3 Void Rays, a Mothership, 5 High Templar. Very good army. Ultra Bane down here. There's still 4 Roaches alive. Chuck those Roaches out. They are just such a waste of supply. I also think Queens you might want to get rid of, because Queens are just not that useful, really, the longer the game goes. I do think more creep spread's huge. And if you can win these little side trades pretty well, that can be massive. 3-3 and Adrenal Glands. Zerglings are going to destroy these Zealots. Even when the Zealots get 3-3-3, Adrenal Gland Zerglings will still beat them. It's only when they get in a big pack or they have Archons helping them that will turn around. Dark Templar warp in. Nice move there. Archons come back as well. The Zerglings will get smashed. Oh, Neuroparasite. Very nice. But of course, he'd already started recalling some of them there. Well done by ZOUN. Recalling those Tempests to safety. Unfortunately, oh god. Oh, feedback's coming. He doesn't have anything to shoot up. The Baneling's getting hit by Storm. The Infestor's getting jumped on. Oh gosh. He hasn't started 2-2 air upgrades either. Reynor, he's got no energy on the Infestors. One fungal lands, but the Ultras are now fighting into Time Warp. Immortal Archon. The Immortals don't even bother to stutter step. They disrespect the Ultras. And Reynor says, oh gosh, I just lost my ground army. I have to rebuild it before dealing with the air. Which means he's going to rebuild 12 Ultras, 30 Zerglings. Try to clear the ground army. And only then is he going to be able to build Corruptors. 2-2 air upgrades do start for Reynor, but we've already got +2 air, +1 armor finished for ZOUN. Pushes in, takes out a base, and he's just got an exceptionally large, strong army. A few Tempests out to the left. Those were the ones that got neuraled earlier. Oh, here we go. Void Ray's trying to take down the Ultra. Ultras take some damage. They're going to jump on top, but that's a lot of Immortals and Archons. Good stutter step there. He does a little bit more stutter step. Would be nice. Standing his ground a bit more than I expected is ZOUN. The Immortals getting gunned down, the Stalkers as well. ZOUN's kind of just standing and swinging. Gets into a brawl with the Ultralisk. For those who don't know, brawling with an Ultralisk, it's not the wisest thing. If you ever go up and you get in a fight with a guy who the altercation starts because you meet him on the street and he's headbutting a brick wall, and you go, oh, you okay, buddy? And he goes, you got a problem with me? And then he starts fighting you. Here's a hot tip. Don't brawl with that guy. You might be thinking, oh, maybe if I punch him in the face, I can knock him out. But what you got to think about is the context of the situation you're in. So remember, he was headbutting a brick wall when you came across him. There is only one thing you can do. Run away. And it's the same when you're fighting Ultras. You step back, you shoot. You step back, you shoot. You do not stand and swing. with the Ultralisk. It will win that unless you have an insane army. It will always win that. If you start a step, though, you pull back, you move, shoot, you don't let it land on you. Don't let it land those hits consistently, then the Ultra is nowhere near as scary. Now, that's crazy, guys. 9,000 resource lost advantage for ZOUN. 13,000 lost, whereas Reynor's lost... Well, actually, he's lost 23,000, so that's a full 10k. Wow. Big efficiency. He's got his 6th base up in the middle. Lots of cannons and batteries. Reynor's bank is gone. He's got 8 Ultras. It's going to be 11 Ultras, 18 Corruptors, 9 Infestors. And when 2-2 finishes, he might be able to pick a nice fight. Reynor with a good cancel over there. Stalker's being annoying. Oh, I like the idea of the Stalker Observer clearing up creep. Zerglings could surround that, if there's enough Zerglings, but there's not many Lings right now. Fungal Ultra might be the answer. The Lings are all on the right side, denying a pylon that was trying to go up. How are they this rich and not running constant upgrades? They've just been very focused on the fighting, because normally players are a bit more defensive, but both players taking some kind of scrappy engagements. Now, to be fair, ZOUN would love to throw these Stalkers away. He really doesn't want to keep using these Stalkers. He wants to replace them with better units, so he picks off an Ultra, lets them die to the Zerglings, and says, High Templar and Dark Templar, that's what I want. Now, you might be wondering, why is he making Dark Templar into Archons? And the reason for that is because they're cheaper than High Templar Archons in terms of gas, and he's got more than enough minerals. So even though he spends way more, 150 minerals more per Archon, he saves 50 gas. And that's worth it in his mind, because he's got so much minerals, and gas is always going to be the shortage. Now that there is a chat of Archons. 13 Archons, 3 Immortals, 3 Void Rays, 5 Tempers, 3 High Templar. Neurals coming in. Nice Neural Parasites on the Archons. Very nice. Corruptors diving on top. Oh my lord! ZOUN steps into the Foxtrap. Reynor springs it and says, welcome to Dicktown. And I hope you like the taste of spaghetti, son. I got 99 problems, but a ZOUN ain't one. ZOUN recalls back. He's quickly trying to rebuild. He needs more High Templar. There's Dark Templar in Reynor's base. Reynor's down to 33 workers. Reynor is going for the Fist of Reynor, guys. Much like the Fist of Neeb, it's going to be an almost maxed out army of mostly army supply, right? Very few workers. It's a massive Ultra Infestor. The Corruptors are in the back a little bit. That's a lot of cannons, though. Hard to attack into cannons. Watch out for the storms. The feedbacks could come down as well. The Archon Immortal falling back. There's even more cannons and batteries, and I think the stutter step's the way to do it. As long as ZOUN just keeps running back, he could be good. The air units are going to disappear. He's warping in Stalkers right now. Anything he can use to blink back and try to hold on. The Immortals on the right side starting to get hammered. Neurals going out. The Stalkers blink in to try and target the Infestors. The Lings destroy them. Reynor taking a series of sick engagements here. And I mean, really fantastically good for him. Even that one into the cannon battery, pretty good if you're in a good spot economically. He is not. He lost another base. He lost even more workers. This Dark Templar here has 37 kills, 38 kills. Holy shizzle fizz. Oh, I didn't realize ZOUN recruited the Grim Reaper. That's the same guy who killed every worker in the natural and then walked over to the third and killed every worker there. What? GG, well played. That's going to take us to game 7. Okay, what the hell, Twitch chat? How epic are the series in this tournament? ZOUN in the bottom right side of the map. I mean, I'm really enjoying them. I do wonder if 6 months from now we're going to be like, oh, remember that meta where everything went to the late games, ZvP? To be fair, there's been a lot of action-packed early and mid-game ones here, especially between these two, but a lot of action-packed Zerg versus Protoss in this tournament. So just remember, guys, it's Clem's fault. He played Protoss, got eliminated in this tournament. If you're like, where's Terran? Blame Clem. I'm sure he will be playing Terran in the next one. But I think he was just having a bit of fun, trying it out, enjoying some PvT. He did actually beat ZOUN in the group stage in playing his main race, playing Terran versus Protoss. But trying to off-race against the Terrans was a bit of a nasty one. Spawning pool goes down. More drones coming in now as well. Twitch chat says, Tolkien should have had the courage to kill Sam and Frodo at the end. Yeah, do it George R.R. Martin style, right? Just like, oh, he's dead. He's also dead. Gandalf never comes back, you know? It's like they're not even out of the Shire, and like the farmer catches this, like Merry and Pippin for stealing the vegetables and just like hangs them up, and it turns into like a serial killer flick where it's like the farmer's just sick of them stealing all of his turnips, and he's like, just like hangs them up in his shed and starts like torturing them and stuff. Yeah, that could be a thing. I'd watch it. I'd read it, whatever, you know? Don't know if Lord of the Rings with its kind of beautiful positive, almost like fairy tale likeness to it. Needs to have the dark, A Song of Ice and Fire treatment. But it would be fun as like an alternate version of it to read something that's a bit darker. All right, guys, what do we got? We're chronoing? Chronoing in Adept. Stargate comes down. He's once again 15-15 against a Gate Scout. No big changes here. Now, on this map, big questions arise. Do you just wall off with a gateway and expand down here? Because if you want, you can actually go down here, mine these minerals, take a third there. And we've recently even seen some players take this bottom middle base at 6 o'clock, take the gold and the double gas. I haven't really seen anyone super profit off it yet, but I've seen a few people try, and it makes the game interesting, that's for certain. Extra Adept comes in, Stargate as well, and the drone going up to the top left as well. Oh, shade. Oh, Queen's chasing him. She's going to take a few hits, but she should be fine. Shields of Protoss working well. REYNOR, what are we doing, bud? She just decided to shoot that Overlord. Lit him up. Using him for a bit of target practice there. First Oracle's almost out. Already building the extra pylon. Second gateway, leaving an opening on the front. Looks like ZOUN might do a standard expansion pattern. As is REYNOR. So neither side expanding to the bottom. This is how I prefer to play this map. Super basic. And it's a void ray. Now you can see that, guys. You might wonder, how does he know it's a void ray? It's because if you look inside, you can see that's a shape of a void ray. You can learn the shapes of the units. Very distinctive once you know the difference between them all. Frodo's Fate is pretty... Oh, I like that about Frodo's Fate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it is a very dark ending to Lord of the Rings, right? The Scouring of the Shire, or whatever it's called, is such a big part of the book. It's left out of the film. Disappointing. It's already long enough, let's be real. Also, ain't no studio letting you make a depressing end. Drone's going over there as well. Link speed's coming in. Gas is back on right now. Roach Warren starts up lair. 440. That's a good lair timing. Whenever they go Void Ray into Oracle, you know they've spent a lot on air units, right? If you didn't see the Oracle, you'd really start to panic. And either way, you're building a very safe Roach Warren timing. You don't really want to build the roaches themselves unless you absolutely have to. I think the real trick right now is get those lings across the map and be aggressive scouting-wise. Check there's a third. You know, check what's going on, because REYNOR really doesn't know what's happening. Even if he just sends a single Zergling, which, unfortunately for him... Oh, he sneaks it out. He sneaks it out. He doesn't see the Adepts coming. That's still good. He sends another one out. He sees the Adepts just barely up there. Not sure if he's reacted, though. Haven't seen his units move. He finally sees that third base. Feels like REYNOR's a little bit on autopilot here. He's macroing really well, but I think it took him a while to scout this base, and that's a problem. Adepts coming in on the third. REYNOR, he's got to pull those drones. A little slow on the drone pull, surprisingly. 2 drones into recall. That's actually cute. Only loses one of the Adepts, saves the other one. Oracle gets itself a drone. Void Ray and Oracle tag team, or double team, I should say, the Queen. They both get on top of her, but she gets out, pulls back to the safety of the Spore. And behind it, it's a Templar Archives. It is 6 gas. Wait. Templar Archives immediately? What is this? Guys, there's no Robo. Is he going Storm before Blink? Whoa, looks like he had to have a bit of a pause there. ZOUN, are you drunk? He's going Storm and into Charge. Oh, wow. That's a very early Side Storm. Not as good versus Roaches, though. And there's a lot of Roaches being built. And Zerglings and Queens. REYNOR's doing it. Oh, he's gonna Queen Walk. Guys, he's gonna Queen Walk. He's going old school, baby. Spreading creep on the front. Oh, he's going mass Zergling Roach Ravager. It's an all-in. There's 3 Void Rays. This 3 Void Ray opening is so weak to you walking 7 or 8 Queens across the map because you spent so much money. No Immortals building, no Blink Stalkers, ZOUN being greedy in Game 7, and REYNOR picking a very good time to try to take care of him. Oh, one Void Ray goes down, the hatchery survives. Lings surrounding the High Templar. They can't quite get to each other. They did. Okay, one Zergling died in the middle. They were finally able to merge into that Archon that he's been trying to this whole time. The Void Ray is there, but only one of them. One of them did already go down, remember, on the other side. The other one's, the third one is still trying to get back here. Oracle, Void Ray, everything trying to hold on. Adept and Zealot in the wall in, more pylons going down. ZOUN, he doesn't have the cannons up yet. He needs time. Those buildings are stacked. Biles in the middle of those two buildings will take care of them. Archon comes forward. Ravager's doing well. He's going to bile that and break through. Oracle turns on its laser beam. There isn't energy on that Oracle. It's going to run out soon. He's got to be careful. Great stasis trap. Void Ray trying to hold the line, but there's so many more queens behind that. Zealot's warping in as well. REYNOR going for broke right here in Game 7 at the end of a grueling PvZ series. My man REYNOR is done with playing late game. The Italian stallion, the boy who does not like to wait, the boy who likes to finish off games off of the back of his stellar macro, and that's exactly what he's trying to do right here, right now. Biles coming down, those batteries taking so much damage. The Archon takes down one queen. It could take out another, but he's got to be careful. Those Lings trying to surround the Void Rays, and the Archon's trying to pull back. Great defense up there. Only 11 probes have gone down. This is incredible defense. If there was an Immortal or two, it would be great. The problem with the Archons is they don't have good range. The Ravagers can't focus them down. The Void Rays take down all but one of the queens. Guys, he's lost 7 queens. The Void Rays can overwhelm this now, but can he hold on the ground at the same time? The Void Rays need to kill that queen. If they can just focus her, it could be good, but the Archons are gone. There's so much panic right now. He's not able to realize that. The Zealots and the Sentries try to come down to defend on that side. The Void Ray is still getting taken back by Biles, being pushed away. Oracle gets taken out by Bile on the base as well. REYNOR finding the damage. The Void Ray is not quite enough to deal with this. He's going to go for the queen. He realizes, but it took him a bit too long. ZOUN in panic mode. Stasis trap does freeze a few Roaches and Ravagers, but there's more on top of the base right now. The Stalker trying to defend. Biles coming down. There's too much Zerg on the dance floor. REYNOR has opened up the cages and he's let loose the Hounds of War, and they have marched in to find massive damage. REYNOR throws Biles on top of his own units, trying to hit the Void Rays, and whilst they do not land, I think he's done enough damage nonetheless. 3 Void Rays are out. They will put a timer on this, but I think that timer is, I'm going to kill your whole army if you hang around for another minute. And REYNOR says, yeah, if I hang around another minute, you're going to have nothing left at all. You will be as dead as they come, as dead as a doorknob, as dead as a donkey, as dead as a sideways, left-hand side, upside down, Protoss baboon. None of those words together made any sense whatsoever. But this is the 3rd epic series in this tournament I've cast in a while today. And it looks like, I'm almost like, good job, REYNOR, for just being decisive and not letting it drag to late game, right? We've seen Serral let it go to late game. A bunch of the other players go to late game as well. REYNOR said, no, I've had enough. I'm going to finish it right here, right now. And I think it was a really good timing. When did he first hit? Was it like 8 minutes when that attack started? Seemed like a really crisp timing. Oh, he got here so early. Guys, what the hell? He got to 63 workers. His Lings started attacking at like 6:35, 6:40. And his first queens and like Ravagers were arriving very early on. This is actually a brilliant attack. Really well played here for REYNOR. Just so early. It's a moment in the game where you're like, oh, Storm's not quite ready. Oh, crap. Oh, I don't quite have charge or +1. You know, like, he really just found that little opening and turned it into a big opportunity. Great play for REYNOR. Wins the series 4-3 and goes to the next round. Just beautiful play, and I think ZOUN's 3 Void Ray opening plus an Oracle gets exposed a little bit there. Very weak to anything that's going to bring enough queens across the map to actually overwhelm it. Even though the Void Rays eventually overwhelmed them, it was, of course, way too late. GG, well played.